all your life and all your day, all day you are thinking about life, thinking about yourself, about the past, about the future. This is why we suffer. We are stuck in a conceptual prison, and it is totally unreal.
I am very excited for you to watch today's video because once you begin to realize and learn what we are covering in today's video on the experience level, which you will as you're watching today and as you practice, thoughts will begin losing their pull over you. You will start to see the unreality of all of these mental scenarios which keep your attention hooked. So you're going to start becoming free from your tendency to overthink. You're going to become more aware of your thoughts. You're going to start to awaken to who you are prior to thoughts. So I'm very excited for today. By the way, if you're new here, if this is one of the first videos you're watching from me, my name is Sunny Sharma. Welcome. Here on this channel, everything that I do and all the content that I create is to help you dissolve mind identification and start to awaken to your unconditioned self, who you truly are prior to what you appear to be, and to become free from suffering your experience. And our content today in this video is exactly about that. So I'm very excited to share this with you. Let's get right into it.
Thought, think of it like a gift. So a gift, there's a wrapping, there's a box, right? And there's the object inside of it, which is the real gift. The box is not necessarily the object inside of it. The box is not the gift. But again, there's a wrapping, like the box, the packaging, we can call it, and then the object inside of it. A thought arising, right? It's like a gift. The thought itself, so try to stay with me here. The thought itself is just the packaging, a thought. It arose. But the content of the thought, aka what it is projecting, let's say it's a thought, and the content of it is talking about dinner later. What you're gonna have for dinner. So you see, the content is the object inside of that packaging. The packaging is just the mere thought itself, but the content of it, the seed, the heart of it, is the idea. Notice, like, the thought about dinner later is not dinner. This is a glass. The thought glass is not this. The thought is always conceptual, about life, about what is. This is simply what is. Prior to it even being called glass, which is a concept, which is a word, a label, a thought, describing what is. This just is as it is. This we can call actual reality, manifest reality, whereas all thoughts are conceptual reality, ideas about actual reality. They are fabrication. So that is in that way we say all thought is not the thought itself. The thought arising itself, the packaging is very real, because it is also actual reality, the thought itself, but the content of it is conceptual. The arising of the thought, the fact that it arose, is real, but the content of the thought, what it is talking about, it is illusory. It is just mere idea. Okay, it is always going to be, even if it's talking about the truth, it can only talk about the truth. It is never the actual thing. Just like I can talk a lot about this glass, I can give many ideas about it, but it is not this. It will never be this. I can write a whole book on glasses. It can never be this. That's all we mean when we say thought is conceptual, or what it's talking about is unreal. So now think of it this way: all your life and all your day, all day you are thinking about life, thinking about yourself, about the past, about the future. This is why we suffer. We are stuck in a conceptual prison, and it is totally unreal. Simple solution is meditation. And that's why we have to keep it simple. But it's funny because even when the medicine is given, we just want to think about the medicine. That is the addiction to our conceptual reality. And there's only suffering in conceptual reality, because you're not experiencing life. You're just experiencing your ideas about life. You're wearing a ton of goggles, and it's a huge amount of distortion. You're always experiencing your partner, your family, your work through a lens of your entire conceptual framework based off of past experiences, this, that. So if this person acts this way, your perception of it is so distorted because you're seeing it through so many lenses. They may just make a remark and it's totally not directed at you or offensive, like meant given with that intention, yet you may perceive it in such a way that, like, how could this person say such a thing to me? So, and like you suffer that, and then you create further dysfunction. So in this way, our perception of reality, which is due to us being addicted to the conceptual reality, conceptual realm, is creating all of our suffering. It is what is keeping us bound, and also our self-image, which is just our ideas about who we are. And this self-image is very, very traumatic and painful because everybody's gone through so much suffering. And this is what we feel somewhere as a great burden, always keeping us down. It is my experience that meditation starts to unlock this. It starts to free you from this conceptual prison to the point that you will laugh at the silliness. That is real detachment. Detachment cannot be faked. Detachment is learning to see the uselessness of conceptual grasping. It is learning to see how all your suffering is due to conceptual reality. But that is also the funny part about this, the trap about this, is that you come across the spiritual teachings while you still have all of these lenses of distortion. So for some, the spiritual teaching for years and years, it's knocking on the door, but they continue to just look through their lenses. They continue to just think about the teaching, learn about the teaching, read about the teaching, keep making more and more ideas about the teaching. But then, we fail to just practice the simple teaching. I just went to my retreat, and for the first 3 days, they just had us for first 3 full days, which is like, we were practicing meditation for 16 hours a day, just awareness of breath. You go away somewhere for 10 days and you're expecting something amazing, and over there you get there and they tell you to practice awareness of breath. How disappointed your mind will be. You were expecting something far greater, far more amazing that you haven't heard before, but over there they're telling you practice awareness of breath. It's because the simple is the only thing that works, and we don't want to submit to the simple because through looking through our lenses, we want something extravagant. Spirituality must be extravagant. It must be mind-blowing. It must be something otherworldly. We are wrong. It is utter simplicity. It is your willingness to submit to the simplicity, surrender to the simplicity that helps you cross this bridge over from conceptual reality to manifest reality, and then from manifest reality to unmanifest reality.
Now, in the second half of this video, we will talk about how to purify the mind. And this is a very important insight. The first bit of this video, it won't be as impactful for you if you don't understand fully the second part. So make sure to watch till the very end. You may be asking, Sunny, I get the theory and everything, but how do I put this into practice? So for you, to help you put this into practice and make it your experience, I am attaching 2 resources in the description of this video, which I want you to go through after you're done watching this video. It will teach you how to, one, bring depth to your meditation practice, and actually how to, even if you have no practice, how to start, what to do, how to go about it, how to approach it. And then second, we will talk about self-inquiry, how to take it to the next level. So please check out those 2 resources in the description box after you're done watching this video. Lastly, I also go into this in way more depth in my School of Awakening. So if this is something that you wish to work with me on, and if you wish to accelerate this process, then you can check it out. It's called School of Awakening. It's an incredible 8-week meditation journey in which I help you dissolve mind identification and become free from suffering your experience. Link for that is also down below. Now, lastly, before we get to the second part of the video, if you are enjoying this video so far and gaining value from it and believe that it has the capacity to help many others, please give me a thumbs up. It allows YouTube, the whole algorithm, to spread this video to more people, and it really helps me and others. So I'd really appreciate that. Let's get to the second part. You said, how do we improve the quality of our thoughts? Sometimes the thoughts are so random, and like you said, I can't believe why they would indicate such content. Why does this happen? Wonderful question. And what you're basically asking is, how do you purify the mind? So I'll give a few analogies that I think will help you grasp that. And hopefully it'll tie into the guidance that we just did. Think of the mind like a river, right? And the water in the river is not the problem. The water is very dirty, very, very dirty. Again, the water is not the problem. It's the dirt in the water. If you drink from this dirty river, it will cause dysfunction. You may get sick, causes you harm. We need not reject the water. We need not try to change the water. We need only to clean the water, cleanse the water. Then that same dirty water, when cleansed of its impurities, becomes clean. And when you drink clean water, it nourishes you. It brings balance. So in that similar way, when the mind is very deeply absorbed with all this conditioning, these belief systems, this great sense of belief, all these past experiences and all of these things, we can call up all of these like the beliefs and judgments and descriptions and interpretations and labels and compartments, ideas about past, future, who I am, what life is. All of this we can just call conditioning. So this is the impurity of the mind. Everybody is imbued with a different flavor of conditioning. Meditation is the process of cleansing these impurities. You can't try to change the quality of your thoughts. You can only start to, by practicing meditation, automatically acknowledge that the content of them, the behavior patterns, the natural inclination, the nature of the mind, right? The personality all automatically begins to transform, change. You can also look at it this way. When we begin this practice, the frequency of the mind is very, very dense and gross, very worldly, lost in appearance, very, very dense. As we begin to sit in meditation, as we begin to really practice the teaching, embody these principles in our life, that frequency is becoming subtler and subtler. That mind is becoming more and more pure. So in the Indian tradition, this is called, like, when the mind is very, very impure, it's called a tamasic mind, full of impurity. And it becomes more and more of a sattvic quality, pure harmony. And all that needs to be done is the practice. So you can't battle against your negative thoughts that you want gone. You can try to replace them with positive thoughts, of course. However, you'll find that it is a way greater effort, and an effort that constantly needs to be maintained, because trying to change the negative thought into a positive thought is not really doing anything at the depth. It is only on the surface level. And again, on the surface level, you need to constantly reapply that effort. The moment you are no longer alert, once again, the mind will just return to its natural frequency of its conditioning. You see? So what we are doing with meditation, self-inquiry, acceptance, the mind is being bypassed, meaning it is actually being dunked in the ocean of silence. Right? As I just said in the guidance, you must lose interest in what appears. You must lose interest in the content of your mind in order to sink deeper. Because otherwise, if you are constantly compelled to pursue these thoughts, and trust me, sometimes these thoughts need not be negative, but they'll just constantly be talking about the understanding, talking about silence, while just keeping you on the surface. So we need to lose interest in, even, let's say, these, at least during moments of practice. Start this only with moments of practice, and then naturally you'll find it going over into your day-to-day life, even amidst activity. By losing interest in the content of thought, then that particular thought or idea starts to lose its pull, its grasp over your attention. It starts to lose the belief that unconsciously gets attributed to that idea, on behalf of which it continues to perpetuate that pattern or frequency. Through disengagement, through losing interest in the content of mind, you're starving it, right? In other words, we're dunking it in the ocean of silence, of the ocean of purity, the unconditioned ocean of purity. No, in silence, there's no concept of this, that, right, wrong, good, bad, high, low, up, down, me, not me. You see, it's just unconditioned, undefined, unknown. And that acts as the purifying agent. We've talked about this example before. It's like a dirty towel, and you're just dipping the dirty towel again and again in the water. And every time you dip it, some of the dirt goes away, some of the dirt goes away, some of the dirt goes away. So think similarly in your practice. Again, not just your sit down practice, but also in your day-to-day life. Like, let's say a great trigger is arising. When you feed it, you further strengthen that pattern. Whereas when you learn to, even in those difficult moments, you stay in alignment with the principles we talk about. You don't react. You learn to observe. You let go of interest in the story that it is creating, the narrative, and you just simply do your best, right? Whatever action you need to take, but you're not doing it from a place of compulsiveness. You're doing it from a place of conscious observing. Again, like it's like that dirty rag that you're dipping into the ocean. Some of the dirt is going away, some of the dirt is going away. That will change, right? As I was saying in the guidance, it will start to change the very nature of your thinking. You'll experience this firsthand after a few years of meditation. You'll notice that the person you are today is totally, completely different than the person you used to be. And this change didn't necessarily, and in a better way, in a, like, let's say, you're much lighter, you're no longer, compulsively engaging in all of these behaviors and emotions and whatever. Your belief system is no longer having, it's no longer that, it's less and less worldly. You're less and less convinced of the solidity of the world and the individual. But that's for later. Don't need to worry about that. All I mean to say is that it begins to totally transform you at the subtlest level, which is, let's say, the belief systems, personality, and whatnot, to even the conscious thinking level, feeling level, engaging level, action level, circumstantial level. And all of this change comes about naturally, just as a result of the practice. So a mind that starts off very dense and gross becomes subtler and subtler and subtler, impurity to purity. That is why I say, ride the highs and lows of this journey. That which resists the practice is actually the obstacle, right? That believing in that resistance and running away from the practice is the very obstacle. It's like you constantly subscribing to that which is not serving you, which is the opposite of going deeper into the teaching. Even in meditation, sometimes you find yourself frustrated, or after a period of, let's say, meditating for a few months or even like a few years, you might have like, oh, I'm not where I would like to be, where I thought I would be. All of that is conceptual. All of that is noise. If you just ride the journey, right? Just stay consistent with the practice, knowing the magnitude of the work that we're doing, then trust me, the experience will take care of you. Might not be in your time frame, desired time frame, but it will take care of you. But once you truly understand this, then you can really live in that surrender that, okay, life, do whatever you want with me in whichever time frame. And I must go through whatever I need to go through in order to learn the lessons that I need to learn, in order to let go of what I need to let go of. That is a very powerful attitude to have towards this teaching, because it doesn't allow you to get frustrated. Just have this sort of standard, like a wise person does not get frustrated, because frustration will only add to your misery. It will only, it's like going backwards. It's like fighting against yourself. In any moment of negativity or, unpleasant situation, just acknowledge that when you begin to get frustrated, let it go. It's not worth it. It does not deserve your attention, your significance, your approval. Now that you have watched this video, it is the time to practice. Without practicing and really implementing these principles and becoming curious about them and becoming serious about them, none of this will work for you. It will just become another idea in your mind. So please take that point seriously. Implement it. And if you have questions, ask. I have a free Facebook group where you can ask questions. You can ask questions in the comments of this video. I do my best to respond. I'm not able to respond to everything, but I will try. Okay. Again, if you need additional help, if you want to work with me, learn more about my School of Awakening. It is absolutely incredible, and it will destroy every obstacle that you have to this practice. We are helping so many people do exactly that right now, and I'm sure we can help you as well. So you can learn more about that in the description box below. Other than that, that's all for me for today. I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.